When you have a son who is a superstar, you've got to think about security and safety. I mean, you've got so many people who want to, see him, be him, marry him, but you also got the crazies out there. Do you worry about his safety?
Of course. I mean, I think every mom worries about their kids. So, but he's got really good security guards and a great team around him that, try to keep him out of dangerous situations.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
Right. Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Diddy is cracking, and it's happening in real time inside the courtroom. After 4 days of testimony, disturbing footage, and celebrity whispers, Diddy finally snapped. Sources say he lashed out in frustration after hearing that Justin Bieber's mom may be called to testify on the internet, losing its mind. And that's just part of what's unraveling in this trial. So let's catch you up because day 5 of the Diddy trial just started, and with every hour the courtroom is getting hotter. More celebrity subpoenas are expected. Usher, Scooter Braun, maybe even Patty Mallette, Justin's mom. Now, before we get into Bieber's connection and how deep this goes, here's what you missed from day 1 through 3. The trial began in Manhattan Federal Court. Diddy's facing 5 major charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, transporting for prostitution, and more. Prosecutors say he used his celebrity power to run a decades-long trafficking network. Defense says it was all consensual. Then came the video, a hotel hallway clip from 2016, showing Diddy sh**ing Cassie to the ground, her, dragging her bags. It gets worse. A responding officer confirmed Cassie had a black eye but refused police help. And then Daniel Phillip, a male stripper, testified that Diddy paid him to sleep with Cassie while he watched multiple times. He also described Diddy dragging Cassie by the hair and hitting her in a hotel. Day 2, Cassie took the stand herself, visibly pregnant, dignified, controlled. She described the now infamous freak-offs, orchestrated sex parties where Diddy controlled the lighting, the clothes, the people, the mood. Cassie said it was the only time she got Diddy's attention, and that made her stay.
Again, just to reiterate what is a freak-off. The freak-off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism, wanting to watch her have sex with someone else. And she said that she did it because she was 22, 21, she was young, she didn't know any better, and that she wanted to please Sean Combs.
She also revealed that Diddy blackmailed her with explicit videos and wrecked her music career when she tried to leave. Meanwhile, her husband sat in the gallery, staring Diddy down like a man who'd waited years for justice.
I was in the courtroom where this trial is taking place, and I was sitting right behind Cassie Ventura's husband, and I watched him as he sort of glared at Sean Combs at times, at the family, especially during the period of time where the prosecution showed photos of 13 men, different races, predominantly black men. These are all men that Cassie was able to identify in terms of names sometimes and where these freak-offs, these alleged freak-offs took place, from cities like LA, Miami, New York, Las Vegas, etc. I can only imagine how painful it must be to sit there and listen to that testimony regarding your wife.
Then came day 3, cross-examination. Diddy's lawyers pulled up flirty text messages, including one where Cassie texted that she loved enjoying time with Diddy after freak-offs too. They tried using it to question her credibility, but the prosecution wasn't having it. They reminded the jury, trauma can look like consent when someone's trying to survive. Anyway, here's a screenshot of the chat between Diddy and Cassie. Cassie in blue, while Diddy in gray.
Read some of those explicit details where she is clearly excited about a freak off and talks about entertaining other people in the bedroom.
And what has Diddy's demeanor been in this cross-examination as well?
There was a moment where Sean Combs was nodding in agreement when they brought up a message that he sent her where he said, one of my favorite times of the freak-offs is when we're able to make love after. And then she responds, that's the same for me. Now, what's interesting here is that that does match what she told prosecutors, or what she's been telling the jury all along, which is she did this, and she said, but she really wanted to spend time with him after the fact. So he was shaking his head at this message where he's almost, I guess, agreeing that he did say, without him saying it, he enjoyed having the freak offs and then having sex with her after the fact. And her saying, I agree with you, I love having sex with you after too.
Now we're on day 4, and just as the trial seemed to reach peak chaos, the Justin Bieber connection exploded online. Because for years, people have speculated about Diddy and Bieber's strange dynamic. But now, it's courtroom material, and the rumors say Bieber's mom might be backing Cassie, or worse. Drop a statement that changes everything. The deeper you dig into Diddy's history, the more uncomfortable it gets, especially when it comes to Justin Bieber. Because now, the court of public opinion isn't just asking about Diddy. They're asking, what really happened between Diddy and a 15-year-old Bieber? According to resurfaced claims, Justin Bieber's mom, Mallette, allegedly handed Justin over to Diddy for 48 hours of mentorship. It was 2009. Justin was just blowing up. And Diddy, he wanted quality time.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
The video still lives on Justin's channel. It shows the two hanging out in a hotel, eating room service, joking awkwardly. But now, that footage hits differently, especially after Diddy's trafficking allegations. Fans have been digging deeper. They found a Howard Stern interview where Usher, the man who helped launch Bieber, was asked if he'd let his own kid go to Diddy's so-called Puffy camp. Usher's answer, hell nah.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some...
Camp!
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going to...
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Turns out, Usher himself lived with Diddy as a teen, and he's admitted to seeing wild, crazy stuff. So why did Justin end up there too? Some blame Usher for introducing them. Others blame Patty for signing off on it. But all of this leads to a bigger question. Was Justin a victim or just another pawn in the industry?
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it, managed him, and got custody of him, and promised to look after him, and then he sent him to the devil.
Singer Jaguar Wright claims Diddy was granted temporary guardianship over Bieber during that 48-hour stretch, a claim Bieber's reps have never directly confirmed or denied, and fans are paying attention. One old interview resurfaced this week, Justin sitting next to Diddy, looking nervous. He starts to speak about the time they spent together, and Diddy cuts him off.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
The Lamborghini for a day or two, and he got access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
People are calling it a red flag, a veiled threat, a keep your mouth shut moment caught on camera. It doesn't stop there. Another TikTok shows a young Justin and Jaden Smith crying no context, just raw emotion. But the timing? Eerily close to those early mentorship years. And now, Patty Mallette is back in the conversation. In her memoir, she admitted to fearing unhealthy long-term relationships in the industry and feeling responsible for Justin's early career choices. She never names Diddy, but the timeline matches.
You have a son who is a superstar. You've got to think about security and safety. I mean, you've got so many people who want to, see him, be him, marry him, but you also got the crazies out there. Do you worry about his safety?
Of course. I mean, I think every mom worries about their kids. So, but he's got really good security guards and a great team around him that, try to keep him out of dangerous situations. Yeah, of course I worry. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
So will she testify? Right now, nothing's confirmed, especially after Justin's statement. But sources say she's under pressure, and if she does speak, her testimony could link Diddy's behavior to actual grooming allegations. One thing's clear, Bieber's team is trying to stay ahead. Just days ago, his reps released a statement denying he was ever a victim of Diddy.
They thought about it for a while and then contacted us back, and they actually gave us an on-the-record statement that Justin is not a victim of Diddy's. They said that there are other victims and they don't want to detract from them, but they said that Justin is not a victim of Diddy. So they were clear. They are now on the record, and it is consistent with everything that we've been told from people, again, who were with Justin at the time and who are with Justin now.
But fans aren't buying it, especially after Justin posted a pizza eating video on Instagram the same day the trial began. The camera angle, exactly like the ones Diddy allegedly used to record his freak-off blackmail tapes. One user wrote, "I feel sorry for Justin. He was a kid, and Hollywood chewed him up." As courtroom tension escalates, the outside world is watching Justin Bieber's every move, and finally he's responded. His reps just issued a statement. Justin was never a victim of Diddy.
They thought about it for a while and then contacted us back, and they actually gave us an on-the-record statement that Justin is not a victim of Diddy's. They said that there are other victims and they don't want to detract from them, but they said that Justin is not a victim of Diddy. So they were clear. They are now on the record, and it is consistent with everything that we've been told from people, again, who were with Justin at the time and who are with Justin now.
But fans aren't buying it. The timing, too clean. The tone, too rehearsed. And the motive? Some say Bieber's trying to shield his mom, not just himself. Because remember, Patty Mallette is now under massive scrutiny. Some are even saying she should have known better than to hand off a teenage Justin to an industry icon with Diddy's reputation. Others defend her, calling her a mother who did the best she could in an industry built to exploit. Here's where it gets twisted. Right before Bieber's team dropped that denial, he posted a random clip to Instagram, just him, eating pizza, casually looking into the camera. But fans noticed the camera setup looked exactly like the blackmail-style footage Diddy allegedly used during his freak-offs. So where does this leave Patty? Well, she hasn't directly named Diddy, but in her memoir, Nowhere But Up, she expressed fears over Justin's early career deals and admitted to feeling accountable for the relationships he was exposed to. And while she may not be testifying yet, her story is now central to one of the biggest celebrity court dramas of our time. Because if she steps into that witness box and confirms even one thing about that 48-hour guardianship, the trial could take a seismic turn. Critics are calling this the final moment before things fully implode, because what started as a trafficking trial is now dragging in an entire generation of celebrities, handlers, and industry parents. So where do we go from here? Diddy's trial is not slowing. If anything, it's just starting to expose the depth of celebrity power, silence, and protection in the industry. We've now seen disturbing footage, a pregnant Cassie on the stand, A-list names being whispered, Bieber's rep scrambling, and a mother caught between career ambition and the price of early fame. Still, so many questions still hang in the air. Will Patty Mallette testify? Will Usher break his silence? Will more freak-off tapes leak? Whatever happens next, one thing's clear. This isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's about what fame hides and who protects it. Do you believe Justin was covering for her? Drop your thoughts below. Should Patty speak out? See you next time.